Oh, hey there. You guys caught me on my 118th hour of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I can't put this game down, literally. But I'm gonna, because right now, we're gonna cover a holiday buying guide. So, most of you know that Christmas is right around the corner. Christmas Eve is tomorrow, actually, and I thought I'd put together a list of three games per category, per game system for you guys that you could take a look at if you guys need some last minute gifts, things like that for people in your life. Mainly, if your kiddos need some games or if your girlfriend or boyfriend needs some games. So let's start with my new favorite console, the Nintendo Switch. So the top three games that I'm going to recommend for the Switch are two of them are kind of sort of in the same category. One of them is totally different. For the Switch, I kind of focused on three games that are going to have you put a lot of hours into. Basically, what I mean by that is that you're going to be playing on one of these bad boys for a hot minute. So, the first one I'm going to recommend, obviously, because it's my game of the year, it was Cam's game of the year, is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So, Breath of the Wild, I've sunk about 140 hours into. The new DLC just came out for it, and I mean, it is just hands down the best game ever. If you guys want to hear me and Cam talk more about this, there will be more videos to come, as well as you can check out some more videos on the channel. So that's number one, is Breath of the Wild. Number two I'm going to recommend is Splatoon 2. So Splatoon 2 is a game that I've mentioned this in previous videos. I never played the first Splatoon, but I can't stop playing Splatoon 2. Just like there are content updates almost every single week. There's just a phenomenal amount of gameplay in this game. I can't recommend it enough. It's bright, it's colorful. You can play it on the go on your Switch. It's an absolute blast. So Splatoon 2 is number two on my Switch list. Number three, I bet you couldn't guess it from the intro, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I literally can't stop playing this game. My wife just, she's not in love with the fact that I'm in love with this game, but she's like, all right, go ahead and play Xenoblade, like whenever I can. It is beautiful. It's the perfect amount of like managerial RPG. There's like 20 or 30 different submenus that you have to do in order to get like all of the upgrades for your characters. It's just, oh my gosh, the characters are awesome. The driver blade mechanic where a person has this entity that is their weapon as their blade just is super cool to me. The characters are great. The voice acting, I know a lot of other channels have talked about this. The voice acting is a little off, but I think it's kind of funny. So can't recommend Xenoblade Chronicles 2 enough. Like I've said, I've put about 118 hours into the game already, which is ridiculous, but I absolutely love it. So these three are going to round off my Switch list, and yeah, check them out. Moving on to 3DS next. Alright, so 3DS. There are three games here that I feel like every 3DS owner should have, and I'm going to start out with one that I'm super duper passionate about, and that would be Monster Hunter Stories. This was in it's one of my top games of the year. It's basically Monster Hunter Pokemon, so if your kiddo or your boyfriend or someone like that loves Pokemon and wants to kind of branch out a little bit, Monster Hunter Stories is definitely one to get. The story is actually really epic. Every monster has a different ability. Every monster does something a little bit different in the field even, and you get to ride on them, which is awesome. I even have like the three amiibo for, or I have four amiibo for it, and I'm in love with the game. It's beautiful on the 3DS. They actually just remastered it in HD for iOS in Japan. I don't know who was asking for that, but Gaijin Hunter actually has a video on that, and it's absolutely beautiful on iOS. I'm hoping they bring it to the Switch. Please, Nintendo, please, but we'll see. So, number 2 on my 3DS list is going to be Metroid Samus Returns. Definitely an action-adventure game. It's pretty tough, but it's really, really, really fun. It's the first 2D Metroid game they've made in a long time that's just phenomenal. And the graphics are incredible on it. The gameplay, it's a long game, so you're going to be, running around these space stations and different worlds and things like that for a long time. There's a bunch of cool new abilities that kind of make it a little bit easier to find new things in the puzzles, but you don't have to use those. One thing you do have to use, though, is the melee attack, which is kind of annoying to get used to, but once you get used to it, it's actually a lot of fun to use. So, Metroid Samus Returns is number 2 on the 3DS list, and then number 3 is going to be Pokemon Ultra Moon. So, if it's a holiday buyer's guide, I got to throw Pokemon in there. It's not one of my favorite games of the year, but it is Pokemon, and who doesn't love Pokemon? So, Pokemon Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun, for those of you who don't get this version, they're basically not really sequels to Sun and Moon, but they're just another story in that universe. It's actually pretty much the same story as Sun and Moon until about 80% of the way through it. So, a little bit interesting, a little bit different there with the gameplay, but towards the end. But you still get the collect-a-thon. You still get to, there's over 400 Pokemon in this one. Mimikyu's in it. That's the only one I was worried about. But there's a couple new Ultra Beasts. Really, really cool. Sun and Moon was a great story anyways, but the fact that they expanded upon it and changed the story up and gave us new Necrozma legendaries is pretty cool. So that rounds out my 3DS list. So moving on to the Xbox One next. All right, so Xbox One is going to be a little bit different because 2 of the titles I don't have physically. So the first one I'm going to recommend, and this is because just about everybody's playing it right now, is Call of Duty World War II. My wife, Whitney, loves the zombies mode on this game. It's actually really cool. It's really fun. It's the first zombies mode I'm actually good at. So basically, this one is Call of Duty set in World War II. If you've played a Call of Duty game before, you know what that is, and you know how that goes. So that is my first recommendation, is Call of Duty World War II. The next one I'm going to recommend, I got it digitally with my Xbox One, is Assassin's Creed Origins. So if you're looking for an adventure game and you don't have a Nintendo Switch, and you don't want to get Zelda or anything like that, Assassin's Creed Origins is awesome. You get to run around in pyramids. The new hero for the series is really, really cool. I really, really love how beautiful it is. You can turn into an eagle. I'm not super far into it, but I know I'm going to be sinking a lot of hours into it in the coming days, and I'm really, really excited about that. So, Assassin's Creed Origins is my second recommendation. My third recommendation is Cuphead, and the subtitle is Don't Deal with the Devil. So Cuphead is a retro-esque bullet shooter game, and it's really, really cool. So it's drawn, every single frame of it is hand drawn, and it is drawn as though it's a 1930s cartoon, which is like super cool. It's also super creepy. Like, there's a lot of characters in it that just almost seem really, really strange, but they're really, really cool regardless. So Cuphead is my third recommendation, and it's really fun. It's really, really difficult. There's co-op. You can be Mugman or Cuphead in the co-op, and it's really, really cool. So check that one out. Next up, we've got PlayStation 4. All right, so kind of a sad story about PlayStation 4. I sold my PlayStation 4. I know, don't kill me. But I just wasn't playing it, and honestly, like, we got an Xbox One S, and it's awesome, so whatever. But the 3 games that I recommend for PlayStation 4, the first one is going to be Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 HD Remix. Surprise, surprise. Kingdom Hearts is like one of my favorite series of all time. So that's number one. It's got Kingdom Hearts 1. It's got Kingdom Hearts 2. It's got Kingdom Hearts RE Chain of Memories. It also has Birth by Sleep on it. It's just, I don't think it has Birth by Sleep, but that's okay. It's got like 6 Kingdom Hearts games, and it's awesome. So, and it's only like $40. So that's number one. Number two is going to be Horizon Zero Dawn. I never played Horizon Zero Dawn, but I've heard it's phenomenal. A lot of people, it came out right when Zelda did. A lot of people wanted to play both of them at the same time and really either got engrossed in one or the other worlds. I never got the opportunity to play it while I had a PlayStation 4, but you know what? That's okay. I can still recommend the game anyways. It's beautiful. I know, shout out to Phil. He's got a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I know it's got the 4K graphics and all that on the PlayStation 4 Pro, and I've heard it's phenomenal. So number two is definitely Horizon Zero Dawn. Number three is Persona 5, another one that I did not get to play on the PlayStation 4 while I had it. Persona 5 it's an Atlas game, so if you've ever played an Atlas game, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say it's an Atlas game. So you're going to be sinking a ton of hours into it. It's kind of a high school dating sim a little bit, but at nighttime they are like superheroes and they get to like fight crime, and it's really, really cool. So that is my number three, is Persona 5. I wish I had gotten to play it, but that's okay. Some honorable mentions here and there, like Prey is an awesome game. I know the Bioshock collection, that's on Xbox One and PS4, is pretty cheap now. It's relatively like $20, things like that. But the biggest honorable mention that I want to mention, if you can get your hands on one, is one of these guys right here. So this is a Super Nintendo Classic Edition. Whitney and I found one at Target like super late one night, and I told her like, babe, I gotta get this. And she was like, do you really need to get it? Like, they probably have more stock. The dude, I was like, yeah, I have to get it. So the guy came over and he was like, oh yeah, we just put these out like 20 minutes ago and 4 of them are already gone. So they're super kind of hard to find, but if you do find one, they're $80, but they come with 21 games on it. And I mean, they're not like just like little games. We're talking Zelda: Link to the Past. We're talking Super Mario World, Super Metroid. You've got Super Punch Out. You've got Star Fox and Star Fox 2, which was never released until now. You've got several different Kirby games. You've got Kirby Superstar, and there's another one on there, Kirby's Dream Course. Then you've got things like Secret of Mana. You've got Mega Man X. You've got Donkey Kong Country. I mean, we're talking just way, way worth more than $80. So this is my ultimate, basically just honorable mention. If you can get your hands on one of these, definitely go for it. It comes with 2 controllers, so all the multiplayer games you can actually just play right out of the box. Good job, Nintendo. But yeah, so definitely like one of the better things I think you should be looking for. But yeah, guys, so that's my holiday buyer's guide. I know it's coming out a little late in the season, but for those of you who are looking to grab some of these games right before Christmas, they're out there. Hit up just a bunch of different stores. They're all there. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Go ahead and subscribe to the Cricket Party. Give us a like, comment in the comment section. We'd be happy to chat with you about a game that you've picked up from this list or one that you've picked up not on this list. So just hit us up on Twitter, all that fun stuff. Instagram, you know we're out there. So we'll catch you guys in the next one.